नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। नमो स्वयंकाय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादा शिशिरोर्भावे सहस्रनामे पुरुषाय शाश्वते सहस्रकोटि युगधारिणे नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये निष्प्रपञ्चाय शान्ताय निरालम्बाय तेजसे नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे विश्वसंसारहारिणे भक्तकार्येकदेहाय नमस्ते चित्सदात्मने। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ नमो गुरुभ्यो गुरुपादुकाभ्यो नमः परेभ्यः परपादुकाभ्यः आचार्यसिद्धेश्वरपादुकाभ्यो नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। अहङ्कारहीङ्काररहस्ययुक्ता श्रीङ्कारगुणा त्वमहाविभूत्या ओङ्कारमर्मा प्रतिपादिनीभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। होत्राग्निहोत्राग्निहविष्यहोत्रे होमादिसर्वा कृतिभासमानं यद्ब्रह्मदद्भो धवितारिणीभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। कामादिसर्गा व्रजगारुणाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां मोदाप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। अनन्तसंसारसमुद्रतारा नौकायिकाभ्यां स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां जाड्याभिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ अस्य श्री गुरुगीतास्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य भगवान् सदाशिवऋषि नानाविधानि छन्दांसि श्री गुरु परमात्मा देवता हम बीजं सा सत्ये कीलकं श्री गुरु प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे जपे योगः अथ ज्ञानम्। हंसाभ्यां परिवृत्तपत्रकमले दिव्ये जगत्कारणे विश्वकीर्णमनेकदिक् अनिलये प्रत्यक्षाक्षरविग्रहं गुरुपदं ध्यायेत् विभुं शाश्वतम्। सूत उवाच कैलासशिखरे रम्ये भक्तिसन्धाननायकम् प्रणम्य पार्वती भक्त्या शङ्करं परिपृच्छति। श्रीदेव्युवाच ॐ नमो देवदेवेश परात्पर सद्गुरो सदाशिव महादेव गुरो दीक्षां प्रदेहि। केन मार्गेण भो स्वामिन् देहि ब्रह्ममयो भवेत् त्वं कृपां कुरु मे स्वामी नमामि चरणौ तव। ईश्वर उवाच मम रूपसि देवे त्वं त्वत्प्रीत्यर्थं वदाम्यहं लोकोपकारक कृष्णो न केनापि कृता पुरा। दुर्लभं त्रिषु लोकेषु तच्छृणुष्व वदाम्यहं गुरुं विना ब्रह्मणान्यत् सत्यं सत्यं वदामि। वेदशास्त्र पुराणानि इतिहासादिकानि च मन्त्रयन्त्रादिविद्याश्च स्मृतिरुच्चाटनादिकम् शैवशास्त्रागमादीनि अन्यानि विविधानि च अपभ्रंशकराणिह जीवानां भ्रान्तचेतसाम्। यज्ञं व्रतं तपोदानं जपं तीर्थं तथैव च गुरुतत्त्वमविज्ञाय मूढस्तो चरते जना। गुरुर्बुद्ध्यात्मनो नान्यत् सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः तल्लाभार्थं प्रयत्नस्तु कर्तव्यो हि मनीषिभिः। गुरुविद्या जगन्माया देहे चाज्ञानसम्भवा उदयो यत्प्रकाशेन गुरुशब्देन कथ्यते। सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा श्रीगुरोपादसेवनात् देहि ब्रह्म भवेद्यस्मात् त्वत्कृपार्थं वदामि ते। गुरुपादाम्बुजं स्मृत्वा जलं शिरसि धारयेत् सर्वतीर्थावगाहस्य सम्प्राप्नोति फलं नरः। शोषणं पापपङ्कस्य दीपनं ज्ञानतेजसा गुरुपादोदकं सम्यक् संसारार्णवतारकम्। अज्ञानमूलहरणं जन्मकर्मनिवारणं ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुपादोदकं पिबेत्। गुरुपादोदकं पीत्वा गुरोरुचिष्टभोजनं गुरुमूर्ते सदा ध्यानं गुरुमन्त्रं सदा जपेत्। काशीक्षेत्रं तन्निवासो जाह्नवीचरणोदकं गुरुर्विश्वेश्वर साक्षात् तारकं ब्रह्मनिश्चितम्। गुरुपादोदकं यत्तु मयासौ सोक्षयो भटः तीर्थराजा प्रयागश्च गुरुमूर्त्यै नमो नमः। गुरुमूर्तिं स्मरे नित्यं गुरुनाम सदा जपेत्। गुरोराज्ञां प्रकुर्वीत गुरोरन्यन्यभावयेत्। गुरुभक्तस्थितं ब्रह्म प्राप्यते तत्प्रसादतः। गुरुर्ध्यानं सदा कुर्यात् कुलश्री स्वपतिर्यथा। स्वाश्रमं च स्वजातिं च स्वकीर्तिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् एतत् सर्वं परित्यज्य गुरोरन्यन्यभावये अनन्या चिन्तयन्तो मां सुलभं परमं पदम् तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन गुरोराराधनं कुरु त्रैलोक्ये स्फुटभक्तारो देवाद्यासुरपन्नगा गुरो भक्त्रस्थिता विद्या गुरो भक्त्या सुलभ्यते गोकारस्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्येज उच्यते अज्ञानग्रासकं ब्रह्म गुरोरेव न संशयः गोकारः प्रथमो वर्णो मायादिगुणभासकः ऋकारो द्वितीयो ब्रह्म मायाभ्रान्तिविनाशकः एवं गुरुपदं श्रेष्ठं देवानामपि दुर्लभम् हा हा भूः गणश्चैव गन्धर्वैश्च प्रपूज्यते ध्रुवं तेषां च सर्वेषां नास्ति तत्त्वं गुरोः परम् आसनं शयनं वस्त्रं भूषणं वाहनादिकम् साधकेन प्रदातव्यं गुरोसन्तोषकारकम् गुरोराराधनं कार्यं स्वजीवित्वं निवेदये कर्मणा मनसा वाचा नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुं दीर्घदण्डं नमस्कृत्य निर्लज्जो गुरुसन्निधौ शरीरम् इन्द्रियं प्राणान् सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदयेत् आत्मधारादिकं सर्वं सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदयेत् कृमिकीटभस्मविष्टा दुर्गन्धिमलमूत्रकं श्लेष्मरक्तं त्वचं मांसं वञ्चयेन्नावरानने संसारवृक्षमारूढा पतन्तो नरकार्णवे येन चैवोद्धृता सर्वे तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः हेतवे जगतामेव संसारार्णवसेतवे प्रभवे सर्वविद्यानां सम्भवे गुरवे नमः तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः त्वं पिता त्वं च मे माता त्वं बन्धुस्त्वं च देवता संसारप्रतिबोधार्थं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यत्सत्येन जगत्सत्यं यत्प्रकाशेन भाति यदानन्देन नन्दन्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य स्थित्या सत्यमिदं यद्भाति भानुरूपतः प्रियं पुत्रादि यत्प्रीत्या तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः येन चेतायते हीदं चित्तं चेतायते नयं जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्त्यादि तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य ज्ञानादिदं विश्वं न दृश्यं विन्यवेदतः स एकरूपरूपाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेदसा अनन्यभावभावाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यस्य कारणरूपस्य कार्यरूपेण भाति कार्यकारणरूपाय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नानारूपमिदं सर्वं न केनाप्यस्य भिन्नता कार्यकारणता चैव तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यदग्निकमलद्वन्द्वं द्वन्द्वतापनिवारकं तारकं सर्वदा पद्यं श्रीगुरुर्नम्यहम्। शिवे क्रोधे गुरुस्त्राता गुरुक्रोधे शिवो नहि तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वं वाङ्मनश्चित्तगोचरं श्वेतरक्तप्रभाभिन्नं शिवशक्त्यात्मकं परम्। गोकारं च गुणातीतं ऋकारं रूपवर्जितं गुणातीतस्वरूपं च यो दद्यात् गुरुस्मृता। आत्रिनेत्र सर्वसाक्षी आचतुर्बाहुरच्युता आचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा श्रीगुरुकथितप्रिये। अयं मयाञ्जलिर्बद्धो दयासागरवृद्धये यदनुग्रहतो जन्तु क्षेत्रसंसारमुक्तिभाग्। परमं रूपं विवेकचक्षुषोमृतं मन्दभाग्यान् पश्यन्ति अन्धाः सूर्योदयं यथा। श्रीनाथचरणद्वन्द्वं यस्यां दिशि विराजते तस्यै दिशे नमस्कुर्यात् भक्त्या प्रतिदिनं प्रिये। तस्यै दिशे सततमञ्जलिरेष आर्ये प्रक्षेप्यते मुखरितं मधुपैर्बुधैश्च। जागर्ति यत्र भगवान् गुरुचक्रवर्ती विश्वोदय प्रलय ततनित्यसाक्षी। श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठत्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं मरुगात्रयं पदयुगं दूतीक्रमं मण्डलम्। षष्टिनवकं वीरावलि पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरुर्मण्डलम्। अव्यसै सकलै सुदीर्घमनिलैर्व्याधिप्रदैर्दुष्करै प्राणायामशतैरनितकरणे दुःखात्मके दुर्गे। यस्मिन्नाभ्युदिते विनश्यति बले वायो स्वयं तत्क्षणा प्राप्तुं दसहजं स्वभावमनिशं सेवध्वमेकं गुरुम्। स्वदेशिकशैव शरीरचिन्तनं भवेदनन्तस्य शिवस्य चिन्तनं। स्वदेशिकशैव वचनामकीर्तनं भवेदनन्तस्य शिवस्य कीर्तनं। यत्पादरेणुकणिका कापि संसारवारिधे त्वयि वन्दायते नाथं तस्मै यस्मादनुग्रहं लब्ध्वा महदज्ञानमुत्सृजे तस्मै श्रीदेशिकेन्द्राय नमः शाभीषसिद्धये पादाब्जं सर्वसंसार दावानलविनाशकं ब्रह्मरन्ध्रे शिताम्भोज मध्यस्थं चन्द्रमण्डले अकथादित्रिरेखाब्जे सहस्रदलमण्डले हंसपार्श्वात्रिकोणे स्मरेकन्मध्यगं गुरुम् सकलभुवनसृष्टिः कल्पिता शेषपुष्टिर्निखिलनिगमदृष्टिः सम्पदां व्यर्थदृष्टिः अवगुणपरिमास्ते तत्पदार्थैकदृष्टिर्भवगुणपरमेष्टे मोक्षमार्गैकदृष्टिः सकलभुवनगङ्गा स्थापनसंभयसे सकरणदृष्टे तत्त्वमाला समस्ते सकलसमयसृष्टे सच्चिदानन्ददृष्टे निवसतु मयि नित्यं श्रीगुरुदेव्यदृष्टे अग्निशुद्धं समन्तातु ज्वालापरे च कालिया मन्त्रराजमिमं मन्ये हर्निशं पातु तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तत्समीपते तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्य बाह्यतः अजोऽहमजरोऽहं च अनादिनिधनः स्वयम् अविकारश्चिदानन्द अणीयामवतो अपूर्वाणां परं नित्यं स्वयं ज्योतिर्निरामयं विरजं परमाकाशं ध्रुवमानन्दमव्ययम् श्रुते प्रत्यक्षमैतेयम् अनुमानश्चतुष्टयं यस्य चात्मा तपो वेद देशिकं च सदा स्मरेत् मननं यद्भवं कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते साधुत्वं च मया दृष्टं त्वयि तिष्ठति साम्प्रतम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्ना विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते स्वयं यदेव सर्वसम्प्राप्ते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं चैव तथा चैव चराचरं व्याप्तं येन जगत्सर्वं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढस्तत्त्वमालाविभूषिता भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाताय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्ता सर्वकर्मविदायिने स्वात्मज्ञानप्रभावेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वं ज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरो श्री जगद्गुरो ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरुपदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुपरमदैवतं गुरुपरात्परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सप्तसागरपर्यन्तं तीर्थस्नानादिकं फलं गुरुरङ्घ्रिपयो बिन्दु सहस्रांशेन दुर्लभम्। हरोरुष्टे गुरुस्त्राता गुरुरुष्टे न कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रजे। गुरुरेव जगत् सर्वं गुरुपरात्परं नास्ति तस्मात् सम्पूजयेत् गुरुम्। ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं लभ्यते गुरुभक्तितः गुरुपरात्परं नास्ति ध्येयोऽसौ गुरुमार्गे। यस्मात्परात्परं नास्ति नेति नेतेति वैश्रुते मनसा वचसा चैव नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुम्। गुरुकृपाप्रसादेन ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव समर्था प्रभवादौ च केवलं गुरुसेवया। देवकिन्नरगन्धर्व पितरो यक्षचारणा मुनयोऽपि न जानन्ति गुरुशुश्रूषणे विधिम्। महाहंकारगर्वेण तपोविद्यावलान्विता संसारकुहरावर्ते मदयन्त्रे यथा गता। अन्ता देवगन्धर्वाः पितरो यक्षकिन्नरा तया सर्वसिद्धाश्च गुरुसेवा पराङ्मुखा। ध्यानं शृणु महादेव्य सर्वानन्दप्रदायकं सर्वसौख्यकरं मुक्तिविदायकम्। श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं स्मरामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं वदामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं भजामि। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिगच्छम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ब्रह्मा हृदम्बुजे कर्णिकमतिसंस्थे सिंहासने संस्थितदिव्यमूर्ति। ध्यायेत् गुरुं चन्द्रकलाप्रकाशं श्वेतपुस्तकाभिश्रवरं ददानं पीताम्बरं श्वेतविलेपपुष्पं मुक्ताविभूषं मुदितं त्रिनेत्रं वामाङ्गपीठस्थितदीर्घशक्ते मन्दासिनं सान्द्रगृहानिदानम् आनन्दमाय सत्यमहं नमामि। यस्मिन् सृष्टिस्थितिध्वंस निग्रहानुग्रहात्मकं कृत्यं पञ्चविधं शाश्वत भासते तं नमाम्यहम्। प्रातः शुक्लाभ्ये द्विनेत्रं द्विभुजं गुरुं वराभयायुतं शान्तं स्मरेतं नामपूर्वकम्। न गुरोरधिकं न गुरोरधिकं न गुरोरधिकं न गुरोरधिकं। शिवशासनता 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 वेदमेव शिवं वेदमेव शिवं वेदमेव शिवं वेदमेव शिवं। मम शासनतो मम शासनतो मम शासनतो मम शासनतो। एवं विधं गुरुं ध्यात्वा ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते स्वयं तत्सद्गुरो प्रसादेन मुक्तोऽहमिति भावये। नरो दर्शेतं मार्गेण मनः शुद्धिं तु कारयेत् अनित्यं खण्डयेत् सर्वं यत्किञ्चिदात्मगोचरम्। ज्ञेयं सर्वस्वरूपं च ज्ञानं च मन उच्यते। ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं समं कुर्यां ज्ञानवन्तायतः। एवं श्रुत्वा महादेवी गुरुनिन्दां करोति यः स याति नरकं घोरं यावच्चन्द्रदिवाकरम्। यावत्कल्पान्ततो देहः तावदेवा गुरुं स्मरेत्। गुरोलोपो न कर्तव्यः स्वच्छन्दो यदि वा भवेत्। ओङ्कारेण न वक्तव्यं प्राज्ञे शिष्ये कथञ्चन। गुरोराग्रे न वक्तव्यम् असत्यं च कदाचन। गुरुं त्वन्कृत्य हुङ्कृत्य गुरुं निर्जित्य वादतः हयाति स भवेत् ब्रह्म राक्षसः। मुनिभिपन्नगैर्वापि सुरैर्वासापितो यदि कालमृत्यो भयाद्वापि गुरो रक्षति पार्वती। अदत्ता ये सुराध्यस्य अशक्ता मुनयः तथा गुरुशापेन ते शीघ्रं क्षयं यान्ति न संशयः। मन्त्रराजमिदं देवी गुरोरित्यक्षरद्वयं स्मृतिवेदार्थवाक्येन गुरु साक्षात् परं पदम्। श्रुति स्मृते अविज्ञाय केवलं गुरुसेवका ते वै सन्न्यासिना प्रोक्ता इतरे वेषधारिणा। निर्गुणं बोधयेत् परं सर्वं ब्रह्म निराभासं दीपो दीपान्तरं यथा। गुरो कृपा प्रसादेन आत्मारामं निरीक्षयेत्। अनेन गुरुमार्गेण आत्मज्ञानं प्रवर्तते। आब्रह्मस्तम्भपर्यन्तं परमात्मा स्वरूपकं सावरं जङ्गमं चैव प्रणमामि जगन्मयम्। वन्देऽहं सच्चिदानन्दं वेदातीतं सदागुरुं नित्यं पूर्णं निराकारं निर्गुणं स्वात्मसंस्थितम्। परात्परतरं देहं नित्यमानन्दकारकम् निलयाकाशमध्यस्थं शुद्धस्फटिकसमिवम् स्फटिकाकृतिमारूपं दृश्यते दर्पणे यथा आनन्दं सोऽहमित्युता अङ्गुष्ठमात्रपुरुषं ध्यायतश्चिन्मयं हृदि तत्र स्फुरति भावोऽयं शृणोतं कथयाम्यहम् अगोचरं तथा गम्यं नामरूपादिवर्जितं निःशब्दं गातुजानीयम् यथा गन्धात् स्वभावेन कर्पूरकुसुमादिषु शीतोष्णादि स्वभावेन तथा ब्रह्मा च शाश्वतम् स्वयं तथा विदो भूत्वा स्थातव्यं यत्र कुत्रचित् शीतभ्रमारवस्तत्र ज्ञानं भवति तादृशम् मुरुज्ञानं तथा स्वयं ब्रह्मामयो भवेत् पिण्डे पदे तथा रूपे मुक्तौ सौ नात्र संशयः श्रीपार्वती उवाच पिण्डं किं नु महादेव पदं किं समुदारितं रूपातीतं च रूपं किम् एतदाख्यानि शङ्करम् श्रीमहादेव उवाच पिण्डं कुण्डलिनी शक्ते पदं हंसामुदारितं रूपं बिन्दुरिति गेयं रूपातीतं निरञ्जनम् पिण्डे मुक्ता पदे मुक्ता रूपे मुक्ता वरानने रूपातीते तु ये मुक्ता ते मुक्ता नात्र संशयः स्वयं गर्वमयो भूत्वा परं तत्त्वं विलोकये परात् परात्तरं नान्यं सर्वगीतं प्राप्य सर्वसङ्गाविवर्जितम् एकाकिने स्पृहा शङ्कर तिष्ठति तत्र साधतः लब्धं वा धनलब्धं वा स्वल्पं वा बहुलं तथा निष्कामेनैव भोक्तव्यं सदा सन्तुष्टचेतसा सर्वज्ञापदमित्याहु देहि सर्वमयो गुणः सदानन्दः सदा शान्तो रमते यत्र कुत्रचित् यत्रैव तिष्ठते सोऽपि सदेशः पुण्यभाजनम् मोक्षस्य लक्षणं देवि तवाकृतं मया गुरुमार्गेण मुक्तिदः गुरुभक्ति सदा ध्यानं सकलं तव कीर्तितम् अनेन यद्भवेत् कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते लोकोपकारकं देवि लौकिकात् कर्मणो यान्ति ज्ञानहीना भवार्णव ज्ञाने तु भावयेत् सर्वं कर्मणि कर्मया कृतम् इदं तु भक्तिभावेन पठते शृणुते यदि यज्ञत्वा तत्प्रदातव्यं तत्सर्वं सफलं भवेत् गुरुगीतात्मकं देवी शुद्धतत्त्वं मयोदितं भवव्याधिर्विनाशार्थं स्वयमेव जपे सदा गुरुगीताक्षरैकं तु मन्त्रराजामिमं जपे अन्ये च विविधा मन्त्रं फलं नारदिशोरसे कालमृत्युभयहरं सर्वसङ्कटनाशनं यक्षराक्षसभूतानां शूलव्याघ्रभयापहम् महाव्याधिहरं सर्वं विभूतिसिद्धिदं भवेत् अथवा मोहनं वश्यं स्वयमेव भवेत् सदा भद्रासने च दारिद्र्यं पाषाणे रोगसम्भवः समाप्नोति काष्ठे भवति निष्फलम् कृष्णाधीने ज्ञानसिद्धि मोक्षश्रीव्याघ्रचर्मणि भुजासने ज्ञानसिद्धि सर्वसिद्धिषु भुजैवा दुर्वया देवी आसने रुद्रकम्बले उमावेश ततो देवी वश्ये रक्तासनं प्रिये अविचारे कृष्णवर्णं पीतवर्णं प्रदाये उत्तरे शान्तिकामस्तु पश्ये पूर्वमुखो जपे दक्षिणे मारणं प्रोक्तं पश्चिमे च पूर्णं सर्वभूतानां बन्धमोक्षकरं भवेत् देवराजा प्रियकरं सर्वलोकवशं भवेत् सर्वेषां मङ्गलकरं गुणानां सद्वर्धनं दुष्कर्मनाशनं चैव सुकर्मसिद्धिदं भवेत् असिद्धं साधयेत् कार्यं नवग्रहभयापहं दुःस्वप्ननाशनं चैव सुस्वप्नफलदायकम् सर्वशान्तिकरं नित्यं तथा संन्यासपुत्रदम् अवेदव्यं करं श्रेणं सौभाग्यदायकं सदा आयुरारोग्यमैश्वर्यं पुत्रपौत्रप्रवर्धनम् अकामता त्रिविधवा यमामोक्षमवाप्नुयात् अवेदव्यं सकामातु लभते चान्यजन्मनि सर्वदुःखभयं नाशयेत् च महारथम् सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं धर्मार्थकाममोक्षदम् यं यं चिन्तायते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति निश्चितम् कामितस्य कामधेनो कल्पनाकल्पपादपः चिन्तामणिश्चिन्तितस्य सर्वमङ्गलकारणम् मोक्षहेतुर्जपे नित्यं मोक्षक्रियामवाप्नुयात्
तत्रमेव गणा सर्वे चैत्रे पीठे वसन्ति आगनस्पशयानो वा कश्चित्तिष्ठन् वदन्नमे अश्वारूढो गजारूढः सुप्तो जागरितोऽपि वा शुचिस्माश सदा ज्ञाने गुरो गीता जपेन पुनर्जन्म विद्यते समुद्रे च यथा सोऽयं क्षीरे क्षीरं मृते मृतम् भिन्ने कुम्भे यथाकाशस्तथात्मा परमात्मनि तदैव ज्ञानी जीवात्मा परमात्मनि लीयते ऐक्येन रमते ज्ञानी यत्र तत्र विवादिशम् एवंविदो महामुक्तः सर्वदा वर्तते बुधः तस्य सर्वप्रयत्नेन भावभक्तिं करोति यः सर्वसन्देहरहितो मुक्तो भवति पार्वती मुक्तिद्वयं तस्य जिह्वाग्रे च सरस्वती अनेन प्राणिना सर्वे गुरो गीता जपेन तु सर्वसिद्धिं प्राप्नुवन्ति मुक्तिं न संशयः सत्यं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं धर्म्यं सत्यं वयोदितं गुरो गीता समं नास्ति सत्यं सत्यं परायणे एको देव एकदर्मः एकनिष्ठा परन्तपा गुरो परातरं नान्यत् नास्ति कर्तुं गुरोपरम् माता धन्या पिता धन्यो धन्यो वंशाकुलं तथा धन्या च वसुधा देवी गुरो भक्ति सुदुर्लभा शरीरम् इन्द्रियं प्राणं चाकस्वजन बान्धवा माता पिता कुलं देवी गुरोरेव न संशयः आकल्पजन्मनां कोट्यां जपा व्रता तपा क्रिया गुरु सन्तोषमात्रतः विद्या तपो बलेनैव अन्धभाग्याश्रयेण नरः गुरो सेवां न कुर्वन्ति सत्यं सत्यं परायणे ब्रह्म विष्णु महेशाश्च देवर्षि पितृकिन्नराः सिद्धचारण यक्षाश्च अन्येऽपि मुनयो जनाः अन्यतीर्थं निरर्थकम् सर्वतीर्थाश्रयो देवी पादाङ्गुष्ठं समर्पते जपेन जयमाप्नोति चानन्तः फलमाप्नुयात् येन कर्मा त्यजत् सर्वं साधनानि च कर्माणि च एवं नाथनं कुर्मः येन कर्मा फलप्रदम् गुरो गीतां प्रयाणेन सङ्ग्रामे संकटे जपञ्जयमवाप्नोति मरणे मुक्तिदायकम् इति स्कन्दपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे ईश्वर पार्वती संवादे गुरुगीता समाप्ता। श्री गुरुदेव चरणारविन्दस्तु। नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे भक्तकार्ये गदेहाय नमस्ते चित्तदात्मने। निर्वासनं निराकाङ्क्षं सर्वदोषविवर्जितं निरालम्बं निरातङ्कं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। निर्ममं निरहङ्कारं समालोष्टात्मकामं भवदुःखं नमाम्यहम्। अविनाशिनमात्मानं नित्यं नित्यानन्दं वीतरागभयक्रोधं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। मां देहो न मे विदुः देवो नाहमहंसि। एवं विज्ञाय सन्तुष्टं भवदुःखं नमाम्यहम्। समस्तं कल्पनामात्रम् आत्मावुपासनामि। यदि विज्ञाय संयुक्तं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं कामसङ्कल्पवर्जितं हेयोपादेयहीनं तं भवदुःखं नमाम्यहम्। स्वभावेनैव यो योगी सुखं भोगं न वर्जति। यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। नैव निन्दाप्रशंसाभ्यां यस्य विक्रियते मनः। आत्मक्रीडं महात्मानं नित्यं मुक्तं नमाम्यहम्। नित्यं जाग्रदवस्थायां स्वप्नमध्योपतिष्ठते। निश्चिन्नं चिन्मयात्मानं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। ऐषं नास्ति प्रियं नास्ति नास्ति यस्य शुभाशुभम्। वेदज्ञानविहीनं तं भवदुःखं नमाम्यहम्। जडं पश्यति नो यस्तु जगत्पश्यति चिन्मयम्। नित्ययुक्तं गुणातीतं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। यो हि दर्शनमात्रेण भवते भुवनात्मनः। पावनं ज्ञानमग्नेन भवदुःखं नमाम्यहम्। सर्वभूतं सदा पूर्णम् अखण्डानन्दविग्रहम् स्वप्रकाशं चिदानन्दं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम्। निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निर्मलं Arati
Gurnath Maharaj Ki Jai. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday morning Satsang here at Shanti Mandir at the ashram in the summertime where the weather is beautiful and crisp and cool today. And we spend today our satsang in honor of Baba Muktananda's Divya Diksha, the day where he received initiation from Bhagavan Nityananda. So we take a moment to turn our awareness to that event that was not only significant for Baba, but because of whom we are all here today. And for all of us who walk the Siddha path, we are always grateful for that initiation that Baba received, from whom we all receive that, and that continues through Gurudev. And it always seems appropriate, even though we may have heard it 1,000 times, but to always go over and hear the recount of Baba's experience, what that was for him, and how sacred of a moment and a time it was for him, and how much he honored that meeting and that initiation from Bhagawan. I think many of us along the path, maybe our experiences haven't been as dramatic or as, I wouldn't say the word profound, but as just like as mysterious or as mystic as his was. But for each of us, and I can say that especially for the people who are sitting in the room today, there was some impact of meeting the Guru, meeting Baba, meeting Gurudev, and walking the path that we've all been doing for so many years. What is it that has kept us walking easy? What is it that nourishes us every time we come to a Sunday satsang, any of the programs, any of the courses? What is it that is fed and nourished? And I think when we reflect on that, we see that it is the impact of that meeting. It's the impact of meeting a guru or one who has with that presence and is able to transmit or impart not only the teachings but the experience itself. And that's what makes the Siddha path so unique. It's not just talk, but it's something that is actually transmitted. And once we experience the fullness of that Shakti, or we see it, how it moves in our daily lives and how it is manifest through all of our interactions and experiences and communications and our daily living, we're just always, internally grateful, and we hold our head low in our heart and just in humility of our great fortune to have come across such a path, such a lineage of gurus. So I'm going to invite you all to either close your eyes or you can leave them open, and just let's try to transport ourselves just for a few moments to the reading and the listening of that initiation that took place for Baba. And he writes about it. It's very articulate. Bear with me through the reading, but it's very beautiful and very deep and very profound. So just allow his words to sit with you and to resonate with you in your own being. It's on the chapter of initiation from Play of Consciousness. As I have already said, it was my practice to worship and meditate on my Guru. One evening, I went to have darshan of Bhagavan Nityananda. After darshan, he would always ask me, "Are you going now?" But today he said nothing, so I stayed on. I spent a very happy night in meditation on my Guru. The morning that followed was the morning of August 15th, 1947. What an auspicious day! How full of nectar it was! How divine! What merit and great fortune it brought with it! It was the happiest and most auspicious day of my life, the great day of many births and ages. It was truly holy. Yes, yes, it was the dawn of the most auspicious of all auspicious days. The sun had risen slightly in the sky, and the atmosphere was tranquil. I was standing in the corner to the east, contemplating my guru. In the opposite corner stood Monapa. Gurudev was making little humming sounds in his throat, indicating he was about to get up from his meditation on the self, and in a little while he came out. He looked a little different than usual. In fact, I had never seen him looking like this before. He had on a beautiful pair of wooden sandals, and as he walked to and fro, he was smiling. At one point, he went into a corner and began to chant some secret mantras. Then he came in front of me and smiled again. He began to sing. He was wearing a white shawl, and underneath it only a loincloth and the sandals on his feet. He kept coming and standing in front of me, making his familiar noise of endearment. An hour passed like this. Then he came near me and touched my body with his. My body was stunned with this new wonder. I stood facing west. Gurudev, his body close to mine, stood opposite. I opened my eyes and saw Gurudev gazing directly at me. Mine, in the Shambhavi Mudra. My body became numb. I couldn't shut my eyes. I no longer had the power to open or close them. The divine splendor of his eyes completely stilled my own eyes. We stayed like this for a while. Then I heard the divine sound of Gurudev's hum. He stepped back a couple of paces, and I partially regained my consciousness. He said, "Take these sandals, put them on." Then he asked, "You'll wear my sandals?" I was amazed, but replied reverently and firmly, "Gurudev, these sandals are not to be worn by my feet. Babaji, they are for me to worship all my life. I'll spread my shawl, and then please be so gracious as to put your feet on it and leave your sandals there." Gurudev agreed. Making the same humming sounds, he lifted his left foot and its sandal and placed it on the edge of my outspread shawl. Then he put his foot down, raised his right foot, and placed the other sandal on the shawl. He stood directly in front of me. He looked into my eyes once more. I watched him very attentively. A ray of light was coming from his pupils and going right inside me. Its touch was searing, red hot, and its brilliance dazzled my eyes like a high-powered bulb. As this ray flowed from Bhagavan Nityananda's eyes into my own, the very hair on my body rose in wonder, awe, ecstasy, and fear. I went on repeating his mantra, Guru Om, watching the colors of this ray. There was an unbroken stream of divine radiance. Sometimes it was the color of molten gold, sometimes saffron, sometimes a deep blue, more lustrous than a shining star. I stood there, stunned, watching the brilliant rays passing into me. My body was completely motionless. Then Gurudev moved a little and again made his hum. I began. in the shawl and prostrated myself on the ground. Then I got up, full of joy. I spoke softly and tenderly. Gurudev, what a divine fortune this has been for me. I have received the greatest of all things. Please live in these sandals in all your fullness, and let me worship them, even though I don't know the correct way. As I said this, he went over to the west side of the hall and brought some flowers, 2 bananas, a few incense sticks, and a small packet of kumkum. He put all this on the sandals. I began to repeat, Guru Om, Guru Om. Today I was standing very close to my Baba. He sat down and in his aphoristic way started to speak. All mantras are one. All are Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om should be Shivoham. Shiva Shiva should be Shivoham. It should be repeated inside. Inside is much better than outside. Making his sound, Babaji went into his room. Was a mantra signifying many different things. When he turned his head and made this sound, I would always leave. But this time, he gave me no sign, so I remained standing there. He came out from inside with a blue shawl in his hands and placed it over me. I had received one blessing after another. Next, he went quickly over to the kitchen where Monapa was frying bhajiyas of green bananas and putting them on a tray. Bhagawan filled both his hands with these bhajiyas and put them on my cloth with the sandals. Finally, uttering his ecstatic hum, he gave me the signal to leave. What a great and blessed day, what a sacred day it was. I went outside and began to praise my good fortune. Oh, what merit of mine has brought this to me? What great deeds have I done that their fruit should come to me today? I was completely overcome with wonder, for I had never thought that such a thing could happen to me. How could a person like me be given the Guru's sandals? Nityananda had so many great devotees who had been with him for so long. Some were quite old, some were big businessmen. Everyone believed himself to be an advanced and experienced aspirant, and the closest of all to Bhagavan. I was a new arrival, ordinary, and unknown. I had done no special sadhana and had no special attainment. I had no house and no business. I was just like a poor man. So what had happened was just my extreme good fortune. My Gurudev was a great avadut. He would wander through the world barefooted, never wearing sandals. But today he had worn sandals on his lotus feet, those feet which bestow the knowledge of yoga, which destroy our sins and are adored by gods and men. He had walked around, come before me. My anguish had been lifted from me, my sins cut away. The cycle of birth and death ended. The curtain of ignorance removed. What a stupendous thing had happened. Usually Nityananda Avadut did not bestow his grace in such a direct way. He would instead do it through an apparently meaningless expression or gesture. For him to give me his sandals was something that could never happen. He, who never wore sandals, had come to me wearing them, and not with his hands, but directly from his feet, had placed them in the empty shawl of my poverty. And there was more. He would never look anyone in the face. If he ever looked at anyone, he would look from side to side. But on this day, he had gazed into my eyes with his own eyes wide open, in Parashiva's Shambhavi Mudra, as if he had never seen me before. He had entered me with the divine ray, full of chitti, which grants all powers. As I watched, I had felt the trembling in my body and tears in my eyes. Stunned, I had for a moment experienced stillness and great joy. In this way, he gave me his divine initiation. Then he beckoned me near. This poor sadhu, who had come from hundreds of miles away, had on this day his first opportunity of being close to Bhagavan. Otherwise, how would a helpless stranger have been able to sit next to Bhagavan in the presence of everyone? This day, my special deity, Parashiva, whom they call Ashutosha, he who is easily pleased, had blessed me with the greatest reward for my inadequate Monday fasts and the repetition of his name. It was certainly in keeping with the epithet Ashutosha. A poet had described the bounty of Lord Shiva just as it turned out for me. He says, "O simple-hearted Lord, how blessed you are. You gave away the whole world in a moment. No one in the world gives like you." Gurudev had sat me next to him, and by giving me the highly charged mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, by showing me the meaning of Om, and by uttering Shivoham, he had brought me to an awareness of oneness with Shiva. He had shown me the external practice of Om Namah Shivaya, the great 5-letter mantra of salvation, and then spoken the word Shivoham, which is the form of the inner I am Shiva within the heart. In this way, he gave me the undying message of Shiva, the immortal Lord. And by saying all is own, he gave me the insight that all is oneself. If one who never gives starts to give, then the recipient gets so much that he can take no more. This is what had happened to me. And Bhagavan Nityananda said, Shivoham, this is how it should be. This great, supreme, and radiant mantra of Parashiva destroyed the innumerable sounds that had been rising in the space within my heart since time without end, making me wander through endless births and rebirths. He had destroyed the endless array of impure feelings, the lust, the anger, the delusion arising from the notion of I and mine. He had transmitted into my heart that mighty mantra, which is entirely Shiva, filled with the light of consciousness, forever rising, luminous, embodying the truth of I am perfect, the transcendent word of Shakti. In the flames of his grace, he had burned away the accumulated sins and karmic impressions of birth after birth. Then he had spread a blue shawl over me, just as great warriors carry shields to protect themselves from the blows, bullets, knives, and swords of their enemies, so the holy blue shawl would protect me from anguish, from the touch of sin, from the thieves of delusion and maya, and the bandits of attachment and enmity, from disease and mental suffering. And there is more, for he had made himself the priest and offered to me the sandals, flowers, fruit, kumkum, and incense. How fortunate I was. I had received sandals for worship, consecrated by the priest Nityananda, who was naked and without the conventional signs of a priest. Yes, my destiny was wonderful. And then, something which shows still more clearly the magnificence of his grace, he had gone inside, always making his sound, and had brought 2 handfuls of sizzling hot bhajias, which he had placed on the sandals. The priest was offering cooked food with his own hands, worshipping with the same divine lotus hands, full of consciousness, that he raised in the mudra of fearlessness. At that instant, my mind was flooded with ancient memories, memories of similar worship done in past lives. As I came out of the hall, I kept raising the sandals to my head. I ate the bhajias one by one, and again smelt the flowers, the smoothness, the beauty, and the magnificence of the shawl delighted me. My mind, which had earlier been completely still, motionless, and concentrated in the remembrance of my guru, now became active to the same degree, but there was none of the dryness, the frustration, the frivolity, the anguish, the depression, the stupidity, or anxiety that there had been before in the rush of my thoughts. Instead, there was ecstasy, rapture, zeal, enthusiasm. As my thoughts sped past, I looked once more at Gurudev's sandals. I was full of high spirits. I started to sing to myself some lines from the Guru Paduka Ashtakam. By his grace, I was benefited, and the pain of many births was gone. Such was the teaching of Sri Dattatreya. How could I forget the Guru's sandals? There's more, but I'll stop there. And what we'll do now is we'll watch a video of Baba. And the idea of the video is just simply to give us darshan of him. So you'll see him at evening programs, you'll see him walking, you'll see him moving, you'll see him speaking. But it's an active video. So if you guys want to change your seats a little bit so you can see some of it, you're welcome to do so. But and then after that, we'll chant Om Namah Shivaya, and then we'll meditate for a few minutes, and then we'll conclude our Sunday morning satsang with Arti Lijo and Joda Se Joda. And again, we're all so fortunate to receive Baba's words about his guru, and he always speaks so reverently and so affectionately and in such awe of his presence. And we can only imagine what it would have been like to have had Bhagawan's darshan, such a magnanimous being. And I'll share a little more at the end. Thank you all. Sagrunad Maharaj Ki Jai.
The true religion is to love other people. Today in the world, we do not need any more fighting. What we need is love. For this reason, increase that love. Once again, with great respect and love, I welcome you all with all my heart. Raghunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
Entertainment after the weddings included a well-known Florida magician.
A trick from India. The Hindu rope trick. A medium-sized piece and a long piece. The object being to make all these three different sized pieces the same size. We bring this one up, we bring this one up, and we bring this one up. And we go abracadabra, and I select. And now I have one medium piece, two medium pieces, and three pieces. They're all the same size.
A band playing popular music provided entertainment for the more than 1,500 guests who attended the wedding breakfast, held on the large patio of the Miami ashram overlooking the ocean.
Typical American wedding. Band on the terrace, the magician. It's a very happy day.
That evening, Baba opened the two-day sapta. Playing cymbals, Baba led the closing of the sapta with Purnahuti, and as usual, his energy brought the chanters to new heights. Baba capped off the Shivaratri celebration with one more wedding when Olivia Hussey married Akira Fuse, Japan's most popular singer. That evening, Akira sang for Baba during darshan. And so Shivaratri 1980 was over. The Miami ashram will see one more big celebration before the tour moves on, when Baba celebrates his 72nd birthday. Advance crews are already working in Boston and South Fallsburg. But the Shakti of Muktananda has made a permanent mark on Miami Beach. An 80-year-old Miami Beach man visiting on Shivaratri told a Channel 10 reporter just what he thought about the scene.
I'd rather go to the wedding than to a funeral, so I came to the wedding here. When I walked in here, I thought I was on a little island. I went to a different country. It was so refreshing. No smoke, no whiskey, no nonsense. And I thought that, and you saw children around, beautiful little babies. You saw young people. It was refreshing to my eyes, refreshing to my mind. They believe in God, and so do I.
You think there's love here?
There's a lot of love here. There's an exciting adventure. It's like a cold, clean glass of water.
And that is refreshing. So let me take this occasion to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day, and if this spirit has moved you, a very joyous celebration of Shivaratri. On the beach, for the altar, News Watch 10.
On the last day of April, Baba celebrated his 72nd birthday in the ashram on Miami Beach. It was a glorious celebration, a perfect finale to mark the end of his 5-month stay in Miami.
Birthday, dear Baba. Happy birthday to you.
Doing the advance work.
President of the Siddha Foundation, Ron Friedland, introduced Baba.
Baba's stay in Miami. I've been with Baba now for 7 birthdays. And every one, he gets younger and younger and younger and more beautiful.
In his birthday message, Baba spoke warmly about his time in Miami Beach.
People also came here every day without fail, with a lot of reverence. This is the beauty of discipline.
और 5 महीना 1000 से लेके हम लोग एक साथ एक घर में रहा. यदि ऐसा सारी दुनिया रहने को सीखे तो क्या कम है दुनिया में और दूसरा स्वर्ग का है कौन अपने को.
For 5 months, 1,000 people here stayed, and everybody stayed here with so much harmony and discipline. If everybody in the entire world were to live in this way, then what would we lack? Why would we need another heaven?
Baba's birthday darshan was especially rich, full of variety and surprises. Siddhadas and Freddie presented 2 new songs for Baba's birthday. Would a Jewish rabbi come to meet a Hindu guru while a Christian Baba wasn't the only ashram resident to make local news in Miami.
Tonight, a young Miami Beach man whose father is held captive has decided to take matters into his own hands.
His name is Mark Kennedy. At 22, he's just made the most important decision of his young life. Mark wants to go to Iran and be a hostage. His father is one of the 50 Americans held captive there since November. Now Mark has offered himself as a hostage in exchange for his father's freedom.
I feel obligated to do it for my country, for my father, because I'm very concerned about him.
Later, Mark spoke at an evening program about how meditation had helped him cope with the crisis.
But before I came to Miami, I was getting really tense and feeling really helpless. The greatest thing that I feel Bob has given me is that knowledge that my body and my heart is the temple of God. And I feel that there's really nothing to be afraid of, because inside there's perfect joy and perfect peace.
The food around Muktananda is special food. It certainly isn't the food we've tasted in Indian restaurants or in health food restaurants either. This is unusual food, interesting and very delicious. Most important, food here is part of the growth process. If Siddha Yoga is making us more conscious, how does that apply to food? This special report is all about Siddha food.
Anna Brahmet Yajana, Upanishad बोलता.
The Upanishads say, the emptiness of the Absolute being manifested itself as space. From space sprang air. As a result of the friction of air, fire was created. Fire in its turn produced water, and water in its turn produced earth. Food springs from the earth, and people spring from food. It is said that all beings live because of food. From the essence of food, you get sexual fluid, virya and raja, which creates this body. You are born from this earth, which is the embodiment of food. You live on food. You grow from food. Eventually, you merge into this earth, which is the embodiment of food too.
Contains 15% orange juice, artificially sweetened and colored. Use of this product may be hazardous to your health. Chemicals, preservatives, artificial, ingredients, sugar, citric acid, calcium phosphates, potassium citrate, artificial flavors, cellulose and xanthan gums, artificial color, BHA and alpha tocopherol. It's pretty obvious that these chemicals aren't good for us. But then what is? What kinds of foods are helpful, to someone who wants to get closer to the self.
और संसार का भी परिस्थिति पक्का है।
Everyone should eat good food, not only a person who is trying to attain the self. First of all, the food should be fresh. No matter what food you cook, it should be fresh. It should not have been in the refrigerator for a long time, and it shouldn't be canned. The food should be juicy. It should not be too dry. It should have some liquid so that it can pervade the entire body. Different types of grain, such as wheat or rice, vegetables and milk and other dairy products are very good for the body. They are nutritious food. They have taste and life and can bring joy to your life. Every kind of food has its own quality.
We know about the quality of spinach, but what about other foods?
This body is composed of 6 different types of fluids. For this reason, the body needs them very badly. Salty, sour, hot, pungent, bitter, and sweet. Along with salt, it is very important that you eat some hot food such as chilies. Chilies eliminate the gas in the stomach. Chilies also kill the germs which cause skin rash. Chilies contain so much of vitamin C. Even your vitamin C tablets do not contain so much of vitamin C. I study the science of food completely, and I know how to cook many different types of dishes. All foods contain medicine. Food is nothing but medicine. It's created by God. The same thing is true of all the spices and ingredients that cooks use. Onions are considered a spice. They increase the coolness in the body and are good during the hot season. They are also good for fever and to kill germs. Then there's garlic. It eliminates gas and destroys phlegm. If you eat garlic every day, you will never. Of course, if you eat garlic after you already have an ulcer, it will make it worse. It also increases the sexual fluid in the body. They also use lemon and ginger. Ginger has 18 kinds of medicinal benefits. It balances the phlegm, bile, and wind systems in the body. They also use cumin seeds. Of course, they make the food tastier and are also good for fever and the bile system. Coriander is very cooling, and they use mustard seeds, which they fry in the oil to make what we call magic. It is good for the digestion. If you eat bananas, they add fat to your body. If you eat papayas, they reduce the fat in the body. So you need all these different types of liquids and flavors. Of course, you should be moderate in using them.
One of the questions we all ask ourselves when we first come in contact with Siddha Yoga is, should I eat meat? Some people get quite confused about this. But what it all comes down to is whether meat is helpful for someone who wants to meditate.
I'm not against eating meat, but I want to profit from what I do. I don't want to lose anything. In meat, there is no prana shakti, or subtle energy, because it has been absorbed by the prana of the cows.
I think that the reason, this is what I've gotten from being with Baba and cooking with him, that we don't eat meat or fish or eggs
is because these foods aren't suited for the kind of life that we lead. I mean, what we're doing here is we're meditating, and we're trying to keep the mind very calm and trying to keep the Shakti flowing properly. And these foods are difficult to digest, and they're not conducive to meditation. They're not light. They're not full of life. And I think that that's basically the reason why we eat the way we do. We eat foods that are nourishing, and we eat foods that are easily digested, so that there's enough Shakti left over so that we can meditate, and that our minds will be calm, and that energy won't be taken up digesting heavy and lifeless foods.
Here! Glad you're all here. Hamburger! Something's still missing.
Shakti.
The flavor of Baba's cooking is indefinable. People eat something and love it, but just what is it that makes it taste so good?
Baba's very particular about the taste of food, and he believes that food should be very satisfying, and you shouldn't be terribly ecstatic when you eat, and you shouldn't feel sad. You should just have a sense of satisfaction after you eat the food that is prepared here. The main thing about Baba's cooking is not necessarily the ingredients, it's the balancing of all the foods. Baba says there has to be a balance between the hot and the salty and the sweet and the sour. And the minute you put the food in your mouth, you should get a taste that delights you, so to speak. When we first learned how to cook in the kitchen, Baba was very particular, and he told us that before we even began in the morning, we have to sing the arti, that no one could come in the kitchen without first having taken a bath and, put on clean clothes. When we prepare the food, Baba says it should be prepared in silence, and just the necessary conversation in order to prepare the food should be spoken in the kitchen. More important than that, it's a certain vibration that sort of permeates the whole kitchen, and that's the inner discipline. It's sort of like you can't really prepare food unless your mind is at rest.
Baba says that a yogi must keep his hunger alive 24 hours a day. This doesn't mean going without food, but a yogi never lets his digestive fire cool down. Only this way can his body become completely pure. Baba goes on to feel hungry after intense meditation, because hunger is an indication that you've meditated well. But if you eat too much after meditation, the energy you've just raised will be consumed in digestion. Another important point Baba makes about keeping your hunger alive all the time is to give your digestive organs a rest, which means that 4 or 5 hours should go by between meals. Only then can your organs maintain their strength and vigor. Lastly, Baba tells us to be really conscious about proportions.
You should eat food as much as you can digest. Now there is a discipline. You should fill half of your stomach with food. The other quarter, they have taste and life, and can bring joy to you. Know your own self, retain your own self.
So put on your plate only what
about the taste of food.
Digestion. Another important point Baba makes about keeping your hunger alive all the time is to give your digestive organs a rest, which means that 4 or 5 hours should go by between meals. Only then can your organs maintain their strength and vigor. Lastly, Baba tells us to be really conscious about proportions.
You should eat food as much as you can
और खाने
digest.
का ऐसा नियम है आधा पेट अन्न से भरे.
Now there is a discipline. You should fill half of your stomach with food.
और पुनः आधा पेट में से पाव पेट में पानी भरे.
The other quarter with water.
और जो बचा हुआ एक भाग है वो खुला छोड़े प्राणा वायु को रखे जन को आने जाने.
There's still another quarter which should be filled with the prana, with the oxygen, move very easily.
मात्र ऐसा आदमी डॉक्टर का दुश्मन बनेगा.
However, it is said, such a disciplined person will become an enemy of a doctor.
So, Baba suggests we eat with discipline and regularity, remembering that we eat to live, not live to eat. What about our attitude while we're eating? For many of us, meals are a social time. The scriptures remind us that eating is a mode of worshiping the inner self, that we should eat with reverence for the food. Baba is especially definite on the subject of wasting food. So put on your plate only what you're certain you can eat.
What about fasting? Baba has said that the body wears what we tell it to wear, it goes where we tell it to go, and it eats what we tell it to eat. So he asks us, why should we starve? Instead, he says, we should starve our minds, and that it's far more effective for our bodies if instead of fasting, we live for a while on one kind of fruit, for instance, or on buttermilk, but on a single kind of food. So give your poor body a break, and let your mind do the fasting instead. Because the mind can really set you off about food. For instance, the Guinness Book of Records lists Nigel Moore of Manchester, England. Nigel ate 1,823 cold beans, one by one, with a toothpick in 30 minutes, and he set a record. Robert Matern at the University of Rhode Island ate 83 hamburgers at a single 2.5-hour sitting. What's more, he held them down. Finally, one of the most spectacular records of all. Over a 1-year period, a Turkish strongman actually ate an entire 1948 Chevrolet, piece by piece, except, of course, the battery. It was a bit too tough. As usual, Baba sums it up eloquently. He says, if you treat food as God, you become God while you cook. You reach inside yourself to the place of that identification, to the place where you know you're God, and then you cook from that place. And then after you cook, he says, you should offer the food back to God. Then the food that is God becomes his prasad, his gift as well. Share it generously. Muktananda says, feed a lot of people. Food is God.
In one of his final question and answer sessions in Miami, Baba reminded us how truly easy it is to find the self.
The same God dwells within everyone in the form of the self, and that self is ancient and without the
वो
form.
अनन्य प्रेम रूप ध्यान से अंदर से सुख रूप से अपने को परिचय दे देता.
As you meditate with great love, with one pointed love, it gives you the experience of itself in the form of great bliss.
प्रेम रूप से परिचय देता.
It gives you the experience in the form of love.
वस्तुतः सत्य ये प्रेम का एक मूर्ति है सबूत नहीं. ये उधर देखता नहीं जहाँ प्रेम है, जहाँ नहीं वहाँ देखता है, इसलिए दुखी.
It is true, everyone is the image of love. However, you don't look in that place where love exists. You look in that place where love does not exist. For this reason, everyone suffers.
इसलिए मनुष्य अपने आत्मा को देखने का बहुत कोशिश करना चाहिए व्यवहार के साथ.
Therefore, along with your mundane activities, you should strive to know your own self, to attain your own self.
नहीं वो काम करने वाला क्या वो कंप्यूटर में काम करता वो ऑपरेशन करने वाला
It's so difficult. The whole mechanism is so complicated, but he works with computer. And for example, a surgeon, like he also has to perform surgery, which is so complicated. However, to perceive your own self is so simple and so easy, but nobody wants to do this easy thing.
हाँ एक योगी पादरी और एक मुल्ला नासुद्दीन तीन मिलके कुछ चर्चा कर रहे थे भगवान का.
Once a yogi, a priest, and Mullah Nasruddin were together and were discussing about God.
तो चर्चा करते 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 आखिर को ये निष्कर्ष हुआ तू भगवान को महीने को क्या देता बोले तू क्या देता भगवान को मैं क्या देता.
And they were talking and talking to one another. Finally, they came to a conclusion and they asked a question to one another. Now, every month, what do you offer God? Every month, what do you give God? Every month, what do you offer to God?
योगी बोला एक ऐसा एक राउंड लगाया एक फुट का एक राउंड लगाया मट्टी में.
The yogi drew a circle on the ground.
बोला हमको जो भी मिला मैं ऐसा फेंक देता हूँ बोले मुझसे गिर जाता है तो वो जो राउंड का अंदर जितना गिरा वो भगवान का छोड़ देता बाहर काम ले लेता.
The yogi said, whatever I get, I throw it up in the air, and whatever falls inside the circle is for God, and whatever falls outside the circle is for me.
बोले तू क्या करता है पादरी को.
And then he asked the old priest, what do you do?
मैं वो भी एक ऐसे चिन्ह लगाया.
He also drew a circle.
मैं भी जो मिला जो ऊपर फेंक देता और जो अंदर गिरा वो राउंड का वो भगवान का बाहर का सब मेरा ले लेता.
So the priest also drew a circle and he said, I also, whatever I get, I throw it up in the air. Then whatever falls inside the circle is for me and whatever falls outside the circle is for God.
नासरुद्दीन बोला मैं ऐसा नहीं करता हूँ.
Nasruddin said, well, I don't do that.
मैं सब ऊपर फेंक देता हूँ.
I throw everything up in the air.
हे भगवान जितना चलेगा जितना गिरा वो सब मेरा है. जितना चाहिए ऊपर से हम
I'll repeat it. Nasruddin said, I throw everything up in the air and I tell God, oh God, look, whatever you want, accept it. And whatever falls on the ground is for me.
ऐसा सब युक्तिवाद युक्तिवाद का ग्रंथ युक्तिवाद का मत युक्तिवाद का पंथ युक्तिवाद का धर्म होने से ऐसा ऐसा ही ऐसा ही है मगर ऐसा नहीं. मनुष्य जहाँ तक अंतरात्मा को सत्य अपना आप को देखता नहीं तो क्या दूसरा भगवान को भी देख पाएगा.
So people use their own reasoning power, the religions, the sects, and different types of people. Anyhow, if a person does not perceive his own self, what can he really attain? Therefore, with great care, with great vigilance, a person should perceive his own self. Now your questions. Dear Baba, how can I open my heart? Dear Baba, मैं अपना हृदय को कैसे खोलूं?
हृदय को खोलने के लिए हृदय के अंदर प्रवेश करना चाहिए. खुला हुआ ये बंद नहीं. हृदय से दूर है वो. ये मत समझो कि हृदय बंद है इसका.
To open the heart, you have to turn within. You have to go to the heart. Truly speaking, the heart is already open. However, you keep yourself separate from your heart. Don't ever think that the heart is closed. The heart is always open.
हृदय खुला है उधर अंतर्मुख होना चाहिए तुमको विचार द्वारा और ध्यान द्वारा. इसलिए ध्यान करना.
The heart is already open. You have to enter the heart. You have to turn within. And you can do that for self-inquiry and meditation. For this reason, we meditate.
And now an update on the continuing saga of Madhu, Baba's dog. This week, Madhu learns discipline. Baba's new book, Reflections of the Self, gives both spiritual and practical advice. Broadway actress Michelle Shea read from the first edition.
Everlasting stillness. Even if the shadows of purity and impurity, heat and cold were to fall on the self, it would make no difference. The self is beyond them. Even though the body performs good or bad actions, the detached self neither loses nor gains. The flame of a lamp is not affected by soot. Fire burns equally in noble and wicked households. The sun observes all actions remaining untainted.
Summer, Baba will be in his ashram in South Fallsburg, in the Catskill Mountains of New York State. It's a wonderful opportunity to spend time with him, living in his house, eating his food, listening to him each evening. One of Baba's favorite poet saints is Tukaram, who wrote that even 1 minute in the company of a siddha can be enough to transform your life.
नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाशी आरती जो फूल वनस्पति है ये सारे सातों सागर जल की झारी फूल वनस्पति है ये सारे सातों सागर जल की झारी गगन अनाहत बाजे बाजे गगन अनाहत बाजे बाजे गाजे राग डरे यम पाशी आरती लीजो आरती लीजो अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाशी आरती लीजो चार प्रकार के अन्न गोपाला सोहे तेरो भोग रसाला चार प्रकार के अन्न गोपाला सोहे तेरो भोग रसाला लोक चतुर्दिश मंदिर के लोक चतुर्दिश मंदिर तेरो घट घट आसन स्वयं विकासी आरती लीजो अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाशी आरती लीजो महावाक्य वेदन के जो है सो तेरो चरणामृत सो है महावाक्य वेदन के जो है सो तेरो चरणामृत सो है सद्गुरु पुजारी देव चरणामृत सद्गुरु पुजारी देव चरणामृत पिए नारे नरबंद विनाशी आरती आरती अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाशी आरती लीजो ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ मेरा अंतर मेरा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत निज कृपा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ निरंतर सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ तुम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए मंगल तरस सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ मेरा अंतर दिन शीश झुकाया करे तेरी आरती शीश झुकाया करे तेरी आरती प्रेम सुता बरसाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ अंतर में युग युग से सोई अंतर में युग युग से सोई चित शक्ति को जगाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से जगाओ मेरा अंतर मेरा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ साची ज्योत जगे हृदय में साची ज्योत जगे हृदय में तो हम नाथ जगाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत मेरा अंतर मेरा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ जीवन मुक्तानंद अविनाशी जीवन मुक्तानंद अविनाशी चरणन शरण लगा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ मेरा अंतर सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ मेरा अंतर मेरा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव दूर करो दुख दर्द सब दया करो भगवान मन मंदिर में उज्ज्वल हो तेरा निर्मल ज्ञान जिस घर में हो आरती चरण कमल चितला तहाँ हरि वासा करे ज्योत अनंत सदा जहाँ भक्त कीर्तन करे बहे प्रेम दरिया तहाँ हरि मैं दो नमस्कार जी भेंट करूं जड़ में लोनाहार ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
So this concludes our Sunday morning satsang. Thank you all for being here. And I just have to say, it's amazing that so many years later, Baba Muktananda took Samadhi in 1982, and every time if I see a video of him and I see his eyes behind his glasses, it's like the world stopped. When he went up for darshan, there was no world. There was no mind. There was nothing except for just that recognition, that presence, that stillness. And to be able to watch these videos so many years later and to be able to still feel the magnificence, the brilliance, the wisdom, the love, the divinity that being walked and talked and carried and transmitted and manifested like no other. And I just sit here with a heart of incredible gratitude and grateful to Grace and to the Shakti for blessing my intellect, the buddhi, to be able to recognize that and to make a lifetime commitment of that. There's nothing other. And every talk of his, every word of his, every poem of his, every peacock feather of his, every look of his, every walk of his clothing, the colors, the smile, the hats, everything gifted and represented and bestowed so much. Incredible, truly an incredible, remarkable being. And so I say to everybody, whether you met him or not, whether you've met Gurudev or not, whether we met Bhagavan or not, just to never underestimate the power of their words, the teachings, the darshans, the scriptures that they give us, all of it, that there's just nothing to be underestimated, whether we're watching something, whether we're listening to something, whether we're in Gurudev's presence, whether we're attending a study group, whether we're attending an intensive, whether we're attending the course, whether we're having our daily chants here in the morning, with Gurudev here, without Gurudev here, things happen. Things happen. And it just, the illumination of all of it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. And all we have to do is just show up. We just have to show up and do the work. Just show up and just whatever he prescribed, whatever Baba prescribed to all of us, his recipe works. It works. Day in and day out. And he taught us how to live life fully, completely, beautifully, with meaning, with purpose. Every day has meaning. Every day has purpose. And to be able to recognize that and to feel that is just another great gift. So the gifts are endless, and as everybody, as we always say, the gift that keeps on giving. So it just keeps on. It doesn't stop. It's just immense. So what's coming up? So here we are. Today's Sunday Satsang on August 16th. Next Sunday is August 23rd, and we'll have a talk by Nicheshwari. So that'll be Sunday morning Satsang. And following our Sunday morning Satsang, we'll celebrate for a little bit down at Namaste, Larry Holmes' 80th birthday. So everybody's invited to stay after Satsang, after lunch prasad, and we'll just put a little birthday flair in there. To honor his 80th. Larry is known to many since Baba's days. Even in the video, you could see him several times serving the food, sitting at the tables, out in the courtyard, all of that in LA, Miami, and then all of the beautiful work that he contributes to the ashram here at Shanti Mandir. So we'll do that next Sunday. And then the following Sunday Satsang, we're all here, and Gurudev arrives on that Monday, which is the 31st. So we're already at the end of August. Amazing. August 31st, we'll all be welcoming Gurudev here to the ashram, and everyone's invited. And we will plan to welcome him here probably somewhere between 11 and 11:30. So everybody's invited to be here physically in person for that. And then the following weekend, we have our Labor Day weekend. So the Labor Day weekend is the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. So the 5th is a Saturday evening, and on the morning is a Saturday, and in the morning we'll have conversations with Gurudev. So there's going to be a 2-hour session with him from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon, and that is free. All of the programs that weekend are free. So at 10 to 12, and he'll be speaking about recipes, daily remedies. We're watching all the film on food, so that got me all. So the daily remedies for daily living. So something that all of us can gain from, the wisdom, the knowledge, practices, question and answers. So whatever evolves, that's 10 to 12. And then in the evening, we have our concerts. So we'll have a violin concert with a tabla player, and we'll also have Vinay, who's known to all of us on Santoor, and with a tabla player. So that's the evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Saturday, the 5th. Then on Sunday, our Sunday morning satsang will be Gurudev's welcome satsang. So, and also within that program, we'll also be having Peter Faggiola, who's a local here and known to everyone. He'll be doing a performance on that morning as part of our Sunday morning satsang, and then we'll be hearing from Gurudev. And then that evening, we'll be having our kirtan event, similar to the one that we had in May. So we're expecting quite a few people, and we will have an evening of kirtan, so everybody's invited for that. And on the Monday, we'll have our Monday morning dancing chant, so that'll be down at Namaste, and then followed by our potluck picnic that we do usually on the Memorial Day or July 4th or Labor Day, or all three, or this year we'll be doing it on Labor Day, Monday, so everybody's invited to join us for that. Just a reminder to everybody, whether you're here in person or you're hearing this online, we are requesting RSVPs for any or all of those days. So if you're planning to attend the morning with Gurudev, please let us know. If you're planning to attend the evening with the concerts, please let us know. And if you're coming on the Sunday evening for the kirtan event, please let us know. And the same for the for the Monday morning, please let us know. So, and you'll get all of that in your inbox, and there'll be little clicks there that you can just click for your attendance, or you can also see Vinay in person here in the connector or down at Namaste. just to make your RSVP known. That will help us with the logistics. Then also, just a reminder to everybody that today's Bandara is offered by Umesh Nagarkate. He's down there with his family cooking, and that's in honor of Baba Muktananda's Divi Diksha and also his Chitra Nagarkate's death anniversary. So we're going to look forward to all of that. And that's all for today. So thank you all for your presence here and for each Sunday and for all that you do for the ashram and for one another. And we'll see you all next week. Sadhguru Maharaj Ki Jai.